thing.
So look, check it out. Y'all say y'all make $14,000. 16.8.
So this is a
Man,
true public
hold on.
service.
Check this out. Check this out. Look, y'all.
They in it for the win.
Listen, 16. Let me tell y'all something. Call Tita. Tell her lift the band. I'm gonna give y'all one of my buses. Look, I'm saying, check it out. Man, y'all gonna do that in 3 months, man.
But more seeing that's another thing.
Yeah.
TD, the state run it, but TD put a ban on it. So it's like he could call all he want.
Yeah, you teed out.
And that's why we got a vote.
So what? That's what I want to know. What's wrong with?
At first I wasn't voting.
Listen. What's the actual problem?
At first I wasn't voting. I ain't believing the system. But I'm just like, that might be the trick. They want to think you don't believe it till we don't vote, I think. Right. I think that's the game they got on.
All right.
Because not voting ain't been helping.
I vote and I don't make it easy to pass the buck on these folks. You feel me? Like you gotta really like you vote, you know what I'm saying? But you really gotta make sure you get
I want to know what's the problem people have with the mail and trail.
What's the problem? That's a whole other conversation.
No, it ain't no conversation. Listen, son. Listen. How I feel. All right, check it out. You hear me? How I feel like when the bus situation happened. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, love, check this out.
It wasn't right,
No, listen. I'm like, love, check this out. I haven't sold drugs since the 90s, since I was a little dude. I've been in jail my whole juvenile life, partner. I don't want to go back to that. Let us make this legal bread, right? You feel me? So when she spoke on what she said, I'm like, okay, I kind of feel that. Then when it comes to the corona situation, you hear me? When she shut everything down, listen, when she shut everything down, I was like, 2 thumbs up. You heard me? I ain't had no problem. When she said the city gonna stay in phase 2, I ain't had no problem with that. Cause I saw the up and close and personal effect of that shit. You understand? And man, like my daughter, my daughter won't, Daddy, I won't go back. No, you're not. You understand? I'll be up every morning with you to make sure you get all your grades together on this virtual stuff. You heard me? You understand? So when she said all that, you feel me? I respect the hell out of it. You heard me? Because that's really, because people, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can count. I know every last one of us got somebody we know that then died from that virus. Not them people saying, oh, just put it on corona. You understand me? You feel me? So when that lady say that, though, you heard me? I respect that. But I don't know about, whatever else, because if it don't affect me, I don't pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Just real life, because that's how I come up in the streets. If he got jacked down the street, a nigga hit his stash over there, boy, that's all you. Well, you better go out of your business. I ain't nothing to do with that.
So look, all y'all, and I'll go around, because I know the answer for y'all 3. You filled your census out?
Did I who what?
Did you fill out your census form?
The census comes around every 10 years, right? And if you think about, we talk about money, from a money standpoint, that's how the state of Louisiana and all states get money from the federal government. So for every person that's counted, that equates to about $2,300, $2,400 per person. So right now, the last session, the state's budget was about $35.5 billion, right? 18.6 billion of that was federal money. So more than 50% of the state's budget is federal money. That's current. Now, if you think about, and I'll let Jason talk about the elected officials and stuff, but if you think about 10 years ago, the last time we had the census, when Katrina hit, we lost our population. So what happened when we lost our population?
So we got to redistrict.
We start dealing with redistricting, but we lost local elected officials, right? So we lost a Senate seat. So a Senate seat is anywhere between 112 and 116,000 people. So based on the population loss, we lost a Senate district. There are 39 senators. So your strength in your delegation is in your numbers. So that was one seat that we lost in the Senate. We lost 3 House seats, right? That was here. not only did we lose 3 House seats, but he mentioned something about redistricting. We had 2 House seats that was, as I said, remember when I started, we said we had, my district, some people have some part of, but we had 2 House seats where 2 of them actually had a piece of Jefferson Parish. They was moved completely out of Orleans into Jefferson. So technically we lost 5 House seats. So think about your numbers in reference with your representation in Baton Rouge. So again, your census, you're talking $2,400 per person. All your information is confidential. It's not going anywhere. They don't want to know, all of the, the background information, all of. Ultimately, what the census is, they want to know how many people you actually have in that house.
So it's pretty much a big ass head count.
So let me
Right.
let me add to that.
Yeah.
So when we say federal government,
They want to know how many people.
So
when we say federal
hold on,
government,
Lord. So when you say how it benefits, so
That's about
when we
it.
start talking about the money, we talk about federal money coming down here. And I say this all the time. I'm tired of riding on these regular ass streets like everybody else. That's money that can go to those streets.
Your interstates.
Go on your interstate.
And it's federal money that trickles down. So let me put this in
But
a
let me just say this.
let me try to put this in a perspective, right? Putting my public servant hat on. All right, I got a car, so I can drive anywhere I want to go. I have a lot of constituents that do not own a vehicle. My district starts at Crowder, and I told y'all I go to Michoud. So think of New Orleans East. I'm gonna just use my district for an example. I want y'all to think of the service roads on both sides. So if you start at Crowder and you got service road on one side where you got Tower Lane, got service road on the other side where you got Walnut Square, get to Reed, you got residential neighborhoods on both sides, and when you get to Bullitt, you got apartment complexes on one side and some residential neighborhoods, and the other side is business and
That's
industrial.
filthy, by the way.
Well, that's another story. We'll get to that. My office is right off of I-10 Service Road on Plaza Drive, so between Crowder and Reed. So every day I drive that service road, and oftentimes I'm driving at night. There's one thing we don't think about, but there are no sidewalks on the service roads, or the sidewalks are incomplete. And unfortunately, because I have a lot of residents that don't own vehicles, they either walk into the corner store, the gas station on Crowder, they're literally walking to Walmart on Bullitt. People are riding bikes. Somebody's gonna get killed one day. And so now me and Jimmy gotta go to Baton Rouge and fight for what little money we can get. And it's literally just that, a fight. So for every person that doesn't fill out a census, we're talking $2,300. So if 10 people don't fill out the census, that's 23,000, 230,000 for every 100 people, and y'all could do the math. If we can just get people to fill out the census, I mean, whether it's 230,000 or 2.3 million, I mean, we may say, oh, sidewalks, that's so simple. But to that person that I see in the wheelchair,
Right.
that's literally on that motorized wheelchair,
On our service.
that's scrolling
Right.
up and down the service road because they don't have a sidewalk to wheel on. And again, it's the public servant in me, because if that was my grandmother or my grandfather or my mother or my father, my brother, whoever, that bothers me. But what bothers me more is that, y'all say, we don't see what government's doing for us, but I'm working my tail off with my brother here, just trying to get some money. But there's only so much money to go around. And if people would just take 10 minutes to fill out that census, I guarantee you, it will make a world of difference for the most vulnerable populations in New Orleans East alone, but also in the Lower Nine, Uptown, for our entire city. That money will make a world of difference.
Well,
I can promise you, ain't nobody coming knock on your door if you fill out the census. So if you got a warrant out or something, ain't gonna happen.
And the census, honestly, and he could chime in on that, is how we got the lights on the interstate, believe it or not. Everybody making the trip wasn't considered. It was the state. Yeah.
More big old daytime light?
Yeah.
Ooh, Mars and that,
Yeah.
green. Ooh, big old daytime light.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And that was the state that,
You know what I'm saying?
ooh, yeah.
so I just wanted to piggyback.
So y'all go fill out your
In
census.
so many words, it's like saying, when he said we lost 3 to 5 seats, in so many words, we're saying the New Orleans lost it's almost like we had a football team, our football team shrank. So we're automatically, when he says we lost a seat to Jefferson, that means Jefferson is going to Baton Rouge with a bigger team. So you got two teams, you automatically knowing you have a bigger fight. Okay, and so when we say federal government, we're really talking about all of the states pulling all of the taxes together. So you got big California, big New York, big Georgia, all that money coming into the pot and then saying, well, how much should go to Louisiana? It's only gonna be based off of population. So if all of us are, if you have this happening in New Orleans, but let's say it's happening in Jefferson, and it's happening in Terrebonne, and that means the whole state looks smaller than what it actually is.
The seat that Congressman
Because I
Richmond
almost
had
think
in the State House,
okay.
that seat went to Baton Rouge. So New Orleans East used to have technically 3 representatives.
Right, I remember that.
So now instead of New Orleans East having 2 to 3 strong voices in Baton Rouge, and on the House side, I gotta now carry the bulk of the weight by myself, and then one of my colleagues, she has a small part of New Orleans East, but we lost a whole voice that went to Baton Rouge. So now Baton Rouge's delegation is strengthened, and we weakened.
But we take care of the state.
Because Baton Rouge filled out the census and we didn't, but we carry the state.
Think about stuff we see every day. WIC.
Yeah, that's part of your census.
That's federal.
Yeah, WIC. Commodity, yeah.
I mean, that stuff, money that's going to education, that's
The juicy juice to be drinking in them.
Oh man, that's true.
Think about RTA. You know how many people we know get that's stuff that's directly impacted.
And just to let y'all know, now Mo, cause Mo did his thing. Mr. Lord, Jazzy, Skip, Mario, y'all got to the 30. You go online. It's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes. And we bring
I'm voting again this year. I felt clean out.
We talking about the census.
For the census?
Come to your census and fill out your census.
I like that.
Yeah, you fill out the census. Yeah, that's gonna be my slogan. I'm going straight on the ground.
Put that out tomorrow.
It's so much stuff.
We reached the hour, so I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. But I just wanted to let y'all know another thing about voting. So
Well, I got here at 8.
you was late, but nah. So we all know the people that braid their hair out the house. You go to the barber out the house. So another reason it's important to vote because they're trying to take the hair braiders away.
Yeah, so where they bringing them?
You got to get licensed just to braid hair.
So, just to that point, yeah.
I love not going for that. This was
Well, my daughter 13, she cold too.
They want a license, and they're gonna tell her she too young.
They want to shut it down?
Yeah.
That's where they making their money though. Wow.
I need my to keep all the job.
Here's the thing, and that's something that's serious. So, a couple of years ago, there were some bills that were filed. Thank goodness they didn't pass. But the business people wanted to file it, and they wanted to file it because of people that look like y'all. To where if you were doing anything with hair braiding, you now have to get a license to do it. So